You have 10 seconds to absolutely bomb your job interview. How do you do it?
Is this a picture of your daughter? Can I keep it?
Loud porn blasting from your pocketed phone speaker. Act like you can't hear it. Insist that you can't hear anything.
I forgot to check, is this building within 500 feet of a school? English is hard.
Does this place have cameras? If so, how many and where?
Always wanted to do this. Take off your shoe and sock, and start clipping your toenails. Walk in shaking and scratching my face, immediately ask if they pay in cash.
Tell them I'll only work for the double their pay at half the hours. Win-win situation, you either bomb the interview or get great pay and half the hours of everyone else.
What could you talk about for 30 minutes straight without any preparation?
Anything aviation related. It's all I know.
Scientology. Some really fucked up stuff.
I work in a coroner's office. I could go into crazy death stories. It's pretty fascinating and people die in the weirdest ways. /edit/ for those who are interested, please see below for a couple stories. I'll post more in a little bit.
Critically acclaimed but quickly cancelled TV series.
The poop from farm animals and what plants the manure is best for. I grew up on a farm. If I pass a field that's been spread with manure, I can't tell from the smell what animal it came from. BTW, chicken manure smells the worst.
Space, it's just never ending.
My job, please don't make me talk about my job.
What do you think your final words will be?
And I would have gotten away with it too, if it weren't for you meddling kids.
The Windows sound for powering down.
What's this button for?
Stay golden, pony boy.
I hid $100,000 underneath a...
Stay fresh, cheese bags.
Thank you.
Cops of Reddit, what is the most suspicious thing you've ever caught somebody doing for a totally legitimate reason?
I find so many suspicious vehicles in our National Veterans Cemetery in my jurisdiction. They almost always turn out to be Pokemon goers.
People who screamed when the lights went out in class. Why?
Sticking it to the man by escalating the chaos.
They used to turn the lights off in the lunchroom when we got too loud in elementary. Terrible idea, lol.
Because they have weak spirits.
The first thing that comes to mind is our class is cancelled? And then go, WTF are you trying to accomplish with that scream to those that scream?
Sonar. So we know where everything is based on where the sound waves reverberate and bounce off of, just like bats.
All screaming does is debilitate those that would otherwise have had control over themselves in the situation. We should have sent screamers in war times.
What absolutely wrecks a meal for you at a restaurant?
I wouldn't say it ruins the meal, but I don't like it when they have tables seated so close to each other that everyone can hear everyone else's conversations. Totally ruins the experience for me.
Filthy floors. Like, crushed crackers, chunks of food, etc. Sure, maybe the table looks clean and wiped down, but if the floor is noticeably nasty, that ruins it for me.
It arriving at my table cold.
When things are weirdly sticky. The tables, the chair, the menus, whatever. I worked as a waitress for a while and made a point to clean things really well because it's such a pet peeve of mine.
Being sat too close to other patrons. Can't enjoy the conversation or the food because I feel physically uncomfortable.
What is something you do that seems normal to you, but everyone else thinks is weird?
I used to recognize people by the way they walked. Had a conversation with friends one day, learned that is odd, and I needed glasses. I have a water cooler in my bedroom right next to my bed. I don't need to get up to get water in the middle of the night. And the water is always super cold. Stay hydrated. I look forward to school holidays and having the kids at home. All my parent friends complain about it, and can't wait for school to resume. But I like spending time with my kids. They're cool.
Brushing my teeth in the shower. It's liberating.
I do things alone, movies, concerts, vacations, festivals etc. I haven't, so buddy knows I need space.
Wiping penis tip after peeing.
When did you realize you weren't a child anymore?
When I realized that just because I have the money for a thing it doesn't mean I can afford it.
When an adult tried to make small talk about the weather with me. When I started taking care of my family or friends. When you're a kid, you're so used of being taken care of.
One day I woke up and I was married and had a mortgage. Not sure when all that happened.
When people I meet started to take me way too serious.
What should be illegal but isn't?
Companies buying out music festival tickets to sell at a higher price. It's already illegal for sports events, so why not for music events?
Cutting line. You'd think people would knock that off once they became adults.
Okay, I work at a hotel in Norway and people eat all types of food. But one time I got sent in with a bowl from a person that had milk, salmon, cornflakes and beans. Holy fuck. That shit should be illegal.
Lobbying. Pretty much legalized bribery for corporations to politicians.
The US government buying your data from private companies. Ticket resellers that buy up all the tickets and jack up the prices 100%.
Pickup trucks that spew out smelly black exhaust. How do those even pass emissions inspections?
What's the morally bad thing you don't regret doing?
For a whole month when I was 12, I was abused physically, mentally, and sexually by a girl I called a friend and her mother. I stole tons of her shit before I left. Made me feel better for a little bit,